Eddie Hearn is pushing for Devin Haney versus Paro. Y'all smell that? Smell like a setup. Let's talk about it. What's up, boxing world? This is Raw Boxing Magic. We back, and it's a movie. So Devin Haney is coming back a lot sooner than anticipated, a lot sooner than he said that he would come back. So Eddie Hearn is targeting a December date for Devin Haney versus Paro. And I'm going to just talk about how I feel about that situation and what I feel that entails for Devin Haney, Paro, and what Eddie Hearn is trying to gain from this. Now, as of late, you can see the little side remarks being thrown by Eddie Hearn about Devin Haney and his promotional skills and about just the business side of things, saying that Devin Haney is a lackluster and his team is a lackluster businessman. So if you look at that perspective and you see that Eddie Hearn has been vocal saying that he would like Devin Haney to fight Paro. But here's the big catch. It is a 10-pound rehydration clause attached to the IBF title. And being as though Devin Haney is no longer the WBC champion, this would not be a unification bout, which means he would still have to follow the guidelines of the 10-pound rehydration clause, which is not a good thing for Devin Haney because Devin Haney already has trouble making weight. Now, I've documented this in plenty videos, most notably The Dark Truth of Cutting Weight in Boxing. Now, the only way that Devin Haney can win this fight, one, is if there's no rehydration clause. Two, if he cuts weight effectively. And you might ask, how does he cut weight effectively? Well, what he's going to have to do is, like I've said in the video I put out, The Dark Truth of Cutting Weight in Boxing, he would have to go on a herbal detox, a colon cleanse. He has to clean out the goat, the gut-associated lymphatic tissues. He has to clean out his gut. We walk around, if we eat meat and things of this nature, we walk around with 15 to 20 pounds of putrefied waste in our body, in our gut. We are literally full of shit. And when that waste is packed up, not only does it stifle the meridian pathways and stifle the flow of the energy that you need, it also keeps that weight on. We're talking 15 to 20 pounds sitting in the gut. So this means there's not proper digestion. That means there's not proper phytonutrient intake. So that means the mineral utilization is not there effectively as you would need it to be for an athlete to perform at optimum level, at the highest level of a Devin Haney, at the level that he's at in his career. So he would need to flush his system of the waste in order to properly make the weight. I don't mean go into the gym and kill yourself and sweat all of this out and sweat all of that out. Yes, we all have to sweat out toxins. But what I'm saying is he has to get the putrefied macro waste out of his gut. You should be defecating 3 times a day, as many times as you eat. That's how much we're actually supposed to be defecating. So that is the only way, and also fasting. As I said before, Gervonta Tank Davis fasted before the Frank Martin fight, and not only did he look amazing, he sounded amazing. Even the lead up to the fight, everything was different. His countenance was different. The way he spoke was different. He was more fluid in his speech. He just seemed more attached and happy and highly energetic. Whenever you could do a backflip at the weigh-in, yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. So the only way Devin Haney would be successful in this fight against Paro, who I believe that Devin Haney has the skill set that is superior to Liam Paro, but that 10-pound rehydration clause will stifle and tremendously have Devin at a deficit, where I give the edge to Liam Paro if that is the case, if they fight with that rehydration clause. Now, as I said, if he does the detox, cleanse his body, which is only going to take about 14 days, 21 at the most. But if he does it going into the Cant and get it out of the way, then he could start introducing these tough proteins back into his body, like the chicken, the fish, and the beef. Now, I would say I think athletes or boxers shouldn't even eat red meat during a Cant. No matter what they say, that's not proper nutrition. Let me make this very clear about this protein myth. Everybody, well, where is he going to get his protein? Where is his protein coming from, man? You sound crazy. Where is protein? His protein is not what you think it is. What a human body needs is proper amino acid structures. Let me repeat that. Amino acid structures. This is the building blocks of the deoxyribose nucleic acid, aka DNA. This fuels you. And you can get that from your fruits, your vegetables, and things of that nature. It's not meat. Protein actually stops you up. Here's the thing. In the nucleus of an atom, protons chase around electrons. Why? Because the proton is trying to neutralize itself so that it won't become a free radical in the bloodstream. So that tells you, when you think protein, think proton. The proton is chasing this electron around, trying to steal a charge, just so that it can neutralize itself, so that it won't become a free radical in the body. This is how intelligent the body is. But we have to give the body the proper environment to thrive in. Now, am I saying that he shouldn't eat any meat during his camp? I'm not saying that. But go for the meats that are less coarse in texture. Beef is a very hard meat and food for us to digest, simply because the hydrochloric acid in our stomachs don't get hot enough to properly break it down, which is why it gets stuck in the gut and causes this mucinoid plaque to build up and stifles the digestive system, depletes you of energy, and keeps extra macro weight on the body. Imagine if he gets rid of this waste 21 days before the fight. That's 15 pounds right there. That's a tremendous head start. But the thing is, during this detox, he would have to let the meat go. No meat, just fruits, vegetables. But the thing about it, it's no excuse at this level. Millions of dollars are on the line. Devin Haney has a personal chef. This personal chef should be able to cook him good vegan meals, good plant-based meals, and it's only for 14 to 21 days. He's going to have to cut out his addiction to the Kool-Aid and the sweets. These things are neurotoxins. This is what this processed sugar is, right? And what did they say? Boxing is 90% mental. So why would you want something to affect your mental? Why would you want something to affect your cognitive ability? You wouldn't. So what I'm saying is he would have to be disciplined enough to cut that out for 14 to 21 days, go on this herbal detox. I'll make a challenge to him. I'll even send him some of the herbal detox that he should use, or refer him to them. And this will alleviate the problem. Cutting the weight won't be an issue anymore. I know for a fact, I've done this. I've tried this. I've done boxing training for a long time as well. not at that level, but imagine somebody like him who's moving as much as he is, who's exerting himself, who's sweating as much as he is. Doing that detox before that, couple that with fasting, because you want the intracellular life in your body to go through a state of autophagy. And this is done through the fasting cycle. But even if he doesn't want to do that, but he can fast for what? 7 days? There's even mono fasting that you could do where you're just eating nothing but watermelon. And that's called mono eating, right? And again, somebody might say, well, you just said something about the sugars. Yeah, I said something about processed sugars, right? Not polysaccharides. Polysaccharides is the processed sugar, meaning poly means many sugars, complex sugars that the body does not fully recognize. And so it doesn't know what to do with it. So what it does is it stores it as fat, right? And obviously I said these are neurotoxins, but when you're dealing with fruits, this is a monosaccharide. Mono meaning one, a simple sugar. And we need sugar to thrive. We need that glucose, right? We need to borrow from these glycogen stores so that we can have the energy and vitality that we need, right? So if Devin Haney can discipline himself to do this before a fight, I think the 10-pound rehydration clause will not be a problem. And he will see a tremendous difference. And I think all fighters should adapt or adopt this ideology because it works. Now, as I said, going into the camp, he can go back on his meats. I wouldn't do the red meat, but he can do fish is a softer meat. And he could do a very tender chicken. I would say he should incorporate mushrooms. Mushrooms have very good neurological qualities to it, and it'll help with like brain fog and different things, and it's very healthy. And the mycelium network, I think it will work wonders for him in his camp. But as I said, he has a personal chef. This should not be a problem. Make him do the research, come up with the recipes that will still be pleasing to the taste buds, right? And there you have it. Voila. Raw boxing magic. There you go. Thank you. And to those who eat meat and things like that, I understand you probably not going to like what I'm saying, but the truth is the truth. The hydrochloric acid, the pepsinogen in our gut is not hot enough to break it down, especially if you are a melanated person, right? And this is why I said all fighters should incorporate more fruits, right? Because fruits have melanin in it. Melanin is what? Melanin is condensed sunlight. And we need this for fuel. Literally, fire. So that's my take on it. That is the only way that Devin Haney can defeat Liam Paro. He cannot go through a 10-pound rehydration clause just by simply starting his camp earlier, but still draining himself, because what's going to happen is now you're going to overwork and overtrain. And what you're going to do is make the body more susceptible to injury. And then you're going to be even more prone to dehydration. Another thing, before I get out of here, that essential water that Devin Haney is drinking. I'm not even going to just call out that. Scratch that. Stop drinking so much water. Devin Haney thinks he needs to drink 1.5 gallons or a gallon every day. You are depleting yourself and washing the minerals and electrolytes from your body by doing this, because what you're doing is you're drinking this dead water. I don't care if it's treated with so-called electrolytes. If it's not natural, if it's not coming from an organic base, it's not going to be recognized the same way in the body. The body is highly intelligent. For instance, I'll give you a great example. When you eat a raisin, the body has to turn the raisin back into a grape in order to properly digest and receive the phytonutrients from the grape, from the raisin. It has to literally turn it back into the form of a grape to ingest it. That's how intelligent the body is. The body has to recognize what's being put in it. And what I mean by recognize, I'm saying from a deoxyribose nucleic acid standpoint, from a DNA standpoint, what is supposed to recognize as fuel, as energy, right? All of that water that Devin Haney is drinking is not, it's not about the amount of liquids you're drinking. It's about the amount of minerals and electrolytes that you intake, which is why people are seen taking a hydration pill. That lets you know a lot right there. So he needs to incorporate juicing, juice the fruits. You have a personal chef, juice the fruits. That is structured water, true water, not H2O, but H3O2. Remember that, not H2O, but H3O2. H3O2 is then converted in the body as H3O, and this is proper hydration, people. Family, that is proper hydration. So you need to cut that water intake in half and supplement it the other half that you've been drinking. If you're drinking a gallon a day, the other half should be fruit juices from fruits. Get a juicer, juice the fruits, and watery vegetables. That is the key. And the only water that you should be really drinking is spring water, bottled at the source, coming straight from the spring with the natural minerals and electrolytes. What people don't know or understand is we're drinking dead water because the only thing that makes water alkaline or puts electrolytes and minerals in water is the rock beds that the water washes over in the spring. You get me? Like, that is the only way. It collects it from the rocks. Water does not have its own DNA. Water does not just come with electrolytes and minerals. It is from the rock beds, from the earth, which is why if you dig in the dirt, dig in the earth, you'll find all of these minerals. And the earth has pretty much all of the same minerals that make up our body, which makes sense if anybody believes in the Bible that we came from the dust, or we came from the dirt of the earth. We share all of the same minerals. So that is the key to a proper weight cut. But by now, y'all should know my temperature. I don't do no faking or no frauding. That ain't my texture. I love y'all. I'm out. So you know what? Like the sun.